we're gonna sort out a venue partner. So to do emerging like maybe. There's a club called the Echo, music venue that's off of Sunset down by, like Silver Lake area.
Okay.
And you want me over there?
It doesn't matter. We'll just move it.
Okay. Well, I'll just go over there because that's how it's set up. We're going to have some sort of partnership with, we're not sure what location yet, but we're going to get a partnership with, the whole thing we were talking about before, when he called me the other day, we were talking like an hour about independent artists and the struggles of that and the changes in the music industry and blah, 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 which is like on everyone's minds. And in fact, like,
mine too.
Yes, you are, sir.
It's the original mic.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh.
Big mic.
Ooh.
So what we have here is a switcher like Joe Rogan style.
Oh, okay.
So we're like what Thomas is gonna do is like he'll be switching like back and forth when we're talking. There's cameras on all of us right now, right?
Oh, so cool.
And this one I'm assuming Blair. So there you go. So whatever's on the switcher is gonna be that. We want to?
Hey, Mike.
Uh-huh.
Can you go?
Do you
right
want
there.
to like we're making this like we're our whole vibe here is like a super cash. We're in the apartment kind of vibe, huh? That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, it's all good. I mean,
So don't worry so much about like why we're not really caring about the setup, and is that what we're going to be doing with this in the end is think like what's the 90s movie I always make you reply?
Sorry, what?
What's the 90s movie that I always tell you? What can I forget the name of every time?
Reality bites.
Reality bites.
Which you're gonna remember.
So reality. I only remember things my talent do. I don't remember anything that no one else does. I have too many people that I can't remember anything.
You have to be selective.
Yeah, I have to be selective. I'm like, were you in that? Because if you weren't, I don't know. But anyway, it's that sort of like that's going to be done soon for our podcast, and it's with a creative duo who one is a musician, creative influencer, gets booked for branding deals for whatever, and she met this photographer, this female photographer and cinematographer, videographer, editor. It's like calls it like self-proclaimed and is true, like a one-woman team. Like she just knocks things out.
That's so cool.
She's so rad, yeah. And they met at like an influencer marketing like or something, and then they realized that they really enjoyed working with each other or talking with each other, and they started working with each other and really enjoyed that. And now they're coming out with a company that's basically their whole message like we'll roll up and like what you're gonna get in the end is gonna look like $1 million. Like holy crap, which is true. Did you see the video that I posted with a group called 212, and there's like a guy on like a bike and like so she did that. She showed up as an afterthought, like they were like, cool if my friend shows up, and she shows up and she shot that, and like 4 hours afterwards, we received it in an email, and I'm like,
4 hours afterwards?
Yeah. So do you know the movie that's out on Netflix right now, Tall Girl? Have you
Oh,
seen it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I haven't actually seen it,
yeah.
but I've seen like
the billboards and
Yeah.
everything. So Ava, I just did a collab with Ava and this brand called Known Supply. And Known Supply is like a good feel brand. Who's like the inside of like the shirts, like it's signed by the person who made it. You can Google them and find them or whatever.
Wow.
Like so you could see that like from the very beginning to the end, like these people were treated well and respectfully and like paid right, and like it's all about like being the most human brand, which is cool.
It's really cool.
Yeah. Anyway, we needed a video for the drop of that, and this girl Sydney who did that, she showed up literally at 3 p.m. and by midnight produced that video that I released the other day. I was like, here you go. I'm like, okay. Literally, like it was crazy. So she's really talented.
That's
but
amazing.
that was the longest winded way for me to get back to like episode 1 is with her. and
rounded back.
one of the musician influencer creatives that I work with, and Reality Bites vibes is like how it's kind of looking. So this is what this is going to look like, right? Where it's edited in the end. It might be like a close up of Stage's face and she's like listening, but like so it's like a podcast.
Yeah.
You know the puppy Super Bowl?
Yes, I've seen
Yeah.
Puppy Bowl.
Puppy Bowl, yeah.
Well, the Puppy Bowl is just like eye candy. That's like interesting and
Yeah.
then you're listening, but you're listening to the comedian's joke the whole
Yeah.
time, right? So that's like you're not really like engaged with the viewing. It's just like eyes like this. So this is like a version of that, but think like artsy project, right? Where like it's like it looks like a cool art project with your eyes, and not really like it doesn't have to be like of me while I'm speaking.
It's not like hard to watch because it's
Yeah, it's just like it's interesting to watch, but then the content is good to hear. So it's like a visual podcast instead of being like like a normal
Yeah.
video podcast. So like it's kind of it, and it's interesting, but you're not like that engaged in what you're seeing. It's kind of like I don't know. Like,
We're
trying
appealing to people's attention spans.
Yeah.
It's so smart.
Yeah.
It's so smart.
Yeah, so like that. So
This is great.
it's a play with that, right? But then you can walk away from it, and the meat and potatoes of the actual interview is good enough to listen to on your earbuds and not on the car.
So this isn't the actual interview.
This going on right
Or
now.
is this the
Well,
are we in
What's
the
happening?
interview?
Well, I don't know. This could be the edit. And so the interviews are more like hangouts, right? So like
Right.
yeah. So
I brought cupcakes. I mean,
Oh yeah, whoa, yeah.
Yeah, seriously.
Okay.
We were sitting in such bad traffic, and there's a sign that said $1 cupcakes. And
She ran out of the car. She ran
run out of the car and buy 10 cupcakes.
Well, we need water this summer for you guys. Are you cool?
She's like,
I wasn't kidding actually.
That's hilarious. Yeah, throw it wherever. That's so funny.
So colorful too.
Yeah. So, well, do you want water or anything before we start this?
I would love a water if
Yeah.
possible.
There's like bottles.
Maybe there's a bottle of water in here. Or actually,
They're so cute.
I don't know if there's anything here.
Nap time.
Well, I got one bottle of water and I got a bunch of sodas. Oh, LaCroix.
Oh, I'll take a LaCroix.
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 LaCroix?
It's like the teacher's drink of choice.
I'm out of those now. Got a water.
Perfect. We're all happy.
Okay, cool.
Nice. What's this?
And when you open that, make sure that feels like it's not been opened before.
Okay.
Oh, I hear that.
If it breaks out, it's
Wait. Why?
No.
Well, you know what? I didn't buy it, So like it was. So like inside there's like it's like a smorgasbord of drinks. So like it could have been someone who drank it and filled it up and then threw.
Yeah, this is
Oh,
excellent.
okay,
It's like
so
an
yeah,
it's
like-
icy.
Yeah, this is so refreshing.
Yeah. Okay. So that. So
So
that,
good.
that's
We're all
why.
So don't worry.
Safe
It was
hydration.
sealed
was
properly.
Okay. Cool.
Okay, yeah. I'm gonna use one of these fancy
Cool.
coasters that are so
Oh yeah, fast. I really want to do this.
Oh,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Put used to.
Yeah, I mean, you know, they're really there just because they're cool, but no one cares if anything's on the table.
We're making them look even cooler. So.
Mm-hmm.
Good
All right. So yeah, really, I'm glad you're in town for a couple days, and I'm glad that you came up with her, and I'm glad I got to meet you.
Great.
So I'm glad that people are getting married.
Yeah,
you know?
it's exciting.
Yeah, a lot of happiness. Yeah,
It's so coincidental that it just happened to be like these 2 weeks because I couldn't plan that, and we just finished our shows of Giselle, and
she's
I
missing the third
definitely
wedding.
needed. Yeah, the third wedding's in Cabo,
She's
and
missing the
I'll
third
be
wedding.
in Nutcracker Madness during that.
Nutcracker Madness. I know. I say this. I said this the last 2 years.
Is that the conversation that just happened like 15 seconds ago?
That's what it was.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so we're gonna live stream this. So yeah, that's us on TV right now. So that's cool.
That's dope.
Yeah,
So you're thinking that's going to be like a 24-hour thing, kind of?
Eventually.
Wow.
Yeah. So I think that it's gonna become like a. I mean, think about. Okay, so that's a really good question to start, because I don't want it to be like an interview or whatever. I just want to catch up with you guys, and then I'll tell you what we're up to, and like I want your thoughts on things. Right?
Yeah.
So essentially, when MTV came out, it was like a giant paid advertisement for. Well, when it was on cable, and then it became a record industry thing, it was a paid advertisement by the labels for the artists, right?
Yeah, exactly.
And they had DJs and all that stuff, and like. I don't think it was until the real world that you really had any like programming, right?
Yeah.
And even that was like pretty raw and like actually like real. And then it became like this, okay, you know, let's cast these people and like from a stage one is way too boring. Like I'd be a stage one because I'm not. Well, maybe two, because I wouldn't be able to help myself sometimes. But like stage one would be like someone who would be like Thomas, who would definitely not say anything dumb on air, and that's not fun, you know,
Just
for,
kind of like a
for
safe
reality
person.
TV. And then stage
Yeah.
5 is like dangerously insane,
Yeah.
and I think they're like
Do they
spot is about.
seriously rate people
About-
like
yeah,
that?
about a
So
three
it's like
or
a 1
four.
through
So stage
5.
4 is where they go for.
Yeah.
I had a friend that actually worked in that world, and like
This is like
her job
crazy
was to
scale.
like when people got kicked off a show, her job was literally to like beat when they see them like leave
Yeah.
and there's a door. She's on the other side, like making sure they don't like hurt someone or hurt themselves. Which is like fun. I mean, we're laughing because we're like, yeah, of course this is the case.
Yeah.
But like, that's a really like, I mean, maybe that's where the end of civilization started. I'm not really sure. Like one day we're like, that's where like the Mayans. That's what happened to us. The day that they started
Their
promoting.
culture collapsed. Okay.
Yeah, when we started promoting stage 4 crazy people. As like
It's
heroes,
entertaining, though.
I guess so, right? I mean, to a certain, to a large class of individuals. Yeah. So anyway, before MTV got to that, is where kind of our baseline of where we want to start is. We want to promote and shine the light on and help facilitate awareness, I guess, around the things that people that I represent, LA Models as a company represents, subsequently because I'm the director of the agency. People from Lost and Found, which is our new integration of other people's children, as in like we're actually like not just like doing art shows with them, but then like we're cataloging them on this thing to where we can promote them for things, So like today, like I saw like Katie sent out an email to a band with you on it, like promote you and like the other guys, which is cool. They're looking for like musicians for an up and coming thing for that. So like it's kind of like it's accidental management in that sense, but very purposeful at the same time. It's like so we're like we're trying to shine a light on you and then help you make money without being taken advantage of, right? Because it's one thing like to see like a video go viral and then you're like, oh wow, and then like Chewbacca mom's killing it or whatever, and then but then it's like how do you like then they get washed into this like ocean of like individuals that want to make money off of this, and then they get exploited and then they get kicked out.
Well, that's the whole independent thing we were talking about.
Yeah.
It's like now like everyone wants to have control over what they make.
Yeah.
And like what they do and like what they create, which is like it makes sense. It's like it's like if I'm going to create this project, like I want it to be like my project. I don't want it to be 90% this other company.
Yeah.
And then through that way, it's like they do get management, they get publicity, and it's like, but then all of a sudden we're marketing towards the organizations that the artist wants too.
But what it comes down to is creating longevity, and I feel like the way to create longevity is to recognize like the value first with like little trendy things that like are videos that pop up and are here one day and then gone the next. It's because like, I mean, that was an accident. Like, I feel like you're cultivating people that actually have like invested time into their craft as like a lifestyle and not even just like we're trying to make cool stuff so that people will enjoy it and like it's not because everything is so like digestible and we're not just trying to like give people like instant stuff. It's like
so the digestible thing. Everyone that I know that is active in this conversation says digestible, and I love it though because it's true. Because I spent a lot of time like sending like DMs to random people. Saying, hey, why do you follow like random people that I follow? Say more. Random people that I follow or represent or whatever, and I'm like, why do you? When I see they follow something comes up in like my search feed, and I see it, and I'm like, this is garbage. And then you see your friend's name, like,
likes this,
And I said, like, what is up with this? And they're like, it's just so digestible and like whatever. I don't know. It's just like it ended up in my feed because I liked one funny thing. It happened, and now I'm just like I just haven't taken it out because it's like, it's not. I'm not like no one's curating their stuff anymore because like our attention spans cause us to like click, and then like it like gets lost in there or whatever. Our stuff. It's just becomes part of like your. I don't know. It's just like you're just like scanning, like anything horribly bad or really good. In a world full of information and content, kind of like just gets it gets in a giant mix. It's like in a mixer. It's like it's on the top at first and it's there, and then all of a sudden it's like gone.
It's watered down.
So like. That's that. So that's it. Is that for me, it's all about like the long term goals of the people that we work with, and we decided like, hey, instead of like trying to get ID or Vice or any of these or Milk, like nothing against any of them, but like trying to like force the content of my force, and it feels like forcing, what's part of it that rubs me the wrong way a lot of times is like I see something really sick that someone that I work with does, and I'm like, hey, will you drop their video, or will you do this or that? And I'm like pushing it, and basically they're like, oh yeah, they kind of like, even when they end up doing it, they do it in a way like they're doing you a favor, and I'm just thinking like actually like all of these kids that are promoting themselves by giving you the content that they paid for, that they worked for the last summer to save up $3,500 to make that music video. They're giving it to you, and you're putting it up, and in the end,
they're like, it's a risk to us.
It's and to them, really, they know that the reality is that they're getting $1 billion out. They become $1 billion corporation by using the content of people, other people's content that other people are paying for.
Already established.
Yeah, exactly. So like the difference with our combo is that like yes, maybe we mess around and build a media company, like and maybe it becomes similar to them. But at least the people that are like we're working with, that's content we're using, is because we want to get it out there so we can promote them and then help them make money with it. Opposed to like just gobbling it up and then seeming like we're in touch with youth culture when really we're just like, we just need more content so that, we seem like we're relevant or whatever. Because the reality is like, if you give them something that's super interesting, they're going to pass it over if it's not clickbaity enough, you know?
Well, people used to watch MTV, and watch the full videos and not get bored and hours on end, and it was like something you couldn't take your eyes off of. And I think
Well, imagine like November Rain or one of these songs that's like an epic,
For real.
like 6,
Yeah,
7 minute
seriously.
song. You can't.
You
would
can't
never
make
be
a
able to
6,
make
7
it.
minute song
Yeah.
anymore. People
Yeah.
will literally
Well,
shut you down.
but that's
for
the
making
weird
longer
thing
songs.
too, is that like on YouTube, I find myself watching a 20-minute video. People are all of a sudden watching like 20, 30-minute videos. No,
Avoid
seriously.
it.
What's that?
No, seriously.
So-
It's true.
So hilarious, and I don't care. Like this, like well, I'm very vocal about like we're being purposeful because we want our people's stuff to be seen. Like I want people to watch this and like take away from it that like wow, they're really interesting and like and insightful, and I want to find out more about them. Right? And Blair's like, it's got to be 20 to 23 minutes because or whatever, and I'm like, dude, and then I'm the guy that's like, I like 3 minutes of flashy. Can't we just like have like three cool things they say and then make it like cool, and then like, and he's like, no man, like that's the thing is that
Correction, Jesse. Is the one of the largest companies on the web. They have all the analytics, and 23 minutes is the magic number on YouTube.
on YouTube.
Really?
Yeah. So
Yeah.
3 minutes is the number on Facebook. Like this is millions or billions actually, billions and billions of views that they're going to, crunching the data all over the world. So.
Yeah. So he knows the person that is running this company, and we're trying. We would love to work with this company because they're awesome. What we're making is like a little different than what they're doing, but we know from them that that's the case. Which is awesome that you said that. That's true.
But it's cool because then like you can put that stuff like Gary Vee is a really good example of it. He'll put like a 23-minute video on YouTube, but then he'll take that same video and market it in like 70 other ways. So whether it's on like TikTok or Snapchat or Instagram, he'll put a 15-second clip on Instagram and then he'll put a 2-minute clip on Instagram, but it's all from that one piece of content.
Yeah.
And so it's cool because exactly. As a viewer, I can go back and I can be like, what was the context of this video that I liked so much? And now all of a sudden I'm like on this thread through all of this
now
social
you
media.
can follow how you got sucked in.
Yeah, seriously.
Like what the parts were that were the most intriguing that caught your eye.
Yeah.
Marketing strategies.
Strategies.
Yeah, no, that's
Strategies, I suppose.
no, that's really cool, and also it's a different perspective every time. It's the same if you like the content, like maybe you want to see it in a few different ways, similar to like a trailer. You're like, I love the movie, but like I like the trailer a lot. They're different. Just
You ever watch old trailers? You ever watch like old movie trailers? Because to be honest, they're the most fascinating things to me. They literally, it's like some of them, I watched this old movie called The Count of Monte Carlo. And the trailer for that was literally like a 15-second clip of the actual movie. Like just like all the way through, that was it. And then I've seen some other old trailers where it's like the most random little clips put together of like some exciting parts, but it's not even the most exciting parts. Whereas trailers nowadays, I've been watching, and it's like the whole freaking movie.
Oh, yeah.
You see everything. I get beginning, middle, end, and I get the plot twist, and I get the villain, and I get like the love interest, and I already know how that's going to develop.
Do you think
like by the end of the trailer?
Do you think that's because people are not wanting to watch a movie unless they because that's a large amount of time for them,
Commit
right?
to it?
So I'm gonna like that from start to finish. So I'm gonna
Our
commit to
generation
this.
has commitment issues.
Yeah, seriously.
Oh yeah. I think that's every generation.
We're just
Well, the older generations are just like, no, you made your bed, now lie in it. Like they have commitment issues too. Which is the difference. What were you gonna say?
I just feel like it's such a higher demand
Yeah.
for everyone has a higher demand for these interests, and so people are trying to come up with it quicker, and they're not taking the time to settle in and actually develop a project.
Yeah.
Something that has thought and behind. So we start seeing these patterns that are super familiar to us, and then we're more likely to push it aside faster and demand more content.
Okay.
So it's kind of like this vicious cycle, I think, that
Yeah.
forces you to
Interesting.
spew.
Does your heads hurt when you're looking at Instagram? My head hurts.
sometimes.
Yeah.
Very boring.
If I fall down a rabbit hole, I really find myself a little bit disgusted with myself.
Yeah, like anxious
Yeah.
or something. Like
Yeah.
feel a little weird about it. Yeah, I think that's what I meant by when I start going like this and I'm like, it's like I feel like it for me. it really feels like it gives me the same anxiety as when I watched the scene in. Do you remember? It's old, but everybody's seen all of these National Lampoon's Vacation when they go to Europe.
Oh yeah.
European Vacation,
Yeah, yeah,
and
yeah.
Audrey like has that nightmare where like she's eating and like it's like you know, that's how I feel, and I'm like, and then I'm like, oh, disgusted, like she is at the end, she explodes or whatever, you know. I
No,
can't remember. You know what I mean?
I think
That's on my head.
It's so crazy because like we created all of these like social media platforms to connect us, but so often I feel like it separates us
Yep.
from connection
It's
and
nothing like
breeds.
the real experience.
Yeah, but it's cool when people, you can always sense when there is like a really human aspect to like someone's profile or something, and you do find yourself like really surprised by a person.
Yeah.
Like those are the moments where I'm like super excited about Instagram and I'm like, this is awesome. But in those other moments where I feel like I'm bored and I'm just killing time, like I don't know. Instagram, it can be purposeful, it can be not purposeful, it can be whatever you choose to make it, but whatever frame of mind you're in, you go into Instagram and you're gonna take whatever is going on, and like
Oh, 100%.
like if you're already feeling anxious, I feel like that's gonna just like increase your anxiety. If you're
Yeah.
like, I don't know,
Because you're not
it's
like
a
actively
reflection.
engaging with it. Like your brain is just kind of like removed from it. Like you're seeing the content, but you're not like absorbing it.
Yeah.
You know, so your brain is kind of like floating off on its own, like whatever you're not choosing to focus on. In that
Yeah,
moment.
that's
And it's almost a distraction to keep you physically busy while you're decompressing without realizing, without putting attention on your decompression.
yeah, and it's and there's time being spent, right? So you're like kind of, you know,
Yeah.
that's the thing. I mean, honestly, like what I heard in the last hangout that we did like this, right? Which I guess this is going to be episode 2, which is really fun.
So
Dope.
too.
Yeah.
Dope.
So
Cupcakes.
it was yeah, have a cupcake. We don't have any napkins, but don't worry about it. Just use the couch.
I knew you were going to go for that one.
I
But
love sprinkles.
there was no
Sprinkles
question.
are my.
There's no question.
I would eat like a
A
whole.
whole bucket. a whole
Yeah,
bucket of sprinkles.
you're yeah. Those are different kinds of people. Sprinkles. No, but I
You're right.
I was like, I think before you got here, I was describing you to these two, and I was like, you know, and then I started with you, and then now I'm knowing you, and I'm like, oh, it must be, it's like in the genes. But I was like, you know, she's really nice, and then I'm like, and then Michael, he's really nice. Now you're obviously nice, but like it's a family thing. It's you know, like you know, people that don't have like you're like. I feel like people with the glasses half empty aren't sprinkles people, you know?
Aw,
That's all I'm saying.
thank you.
You know?
I received that.
Yeah. I don't know. I bet that is the case. Actually, I would like to see. No, I don't. We don't.
People
need
who
to do a
don't-
survey
Let's
about
run
that.
the statistics.
So what would the pessimist cupcake be?
Oh man.
The optimist cupcake is the sprinkles.
Yeah. I don't. You know.
Midnight
Like
chocolate.
cupcakes.
No.
I don't know.
With
Like,
cupcakes, it's like trying to say Bubbles angry. Like it just doesn't.
yeah.
Bubbles is angry.
No, like.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
There you go. Thanks, Blair.
I'm
I don't know what the
surprised.
pessimist one would be. Probably.
Like cornbread.
Yeah.
Like a muffin. It's not a cupcake.
No
What
frosting.
do you think? Southern people are pessimists? I'm just kidding.
Oh no, I don't
Not if you have honey butter and like then your
Oh yeah.
life is looking good.
Yeah.
Southern food is probably just
For sure.
the best.
What do you think quality?
Oh yeah. I mean, like in theory, that's the way, but I don't know that. I mean, I think that everything has to be
it feels valued.
Yeah.
I feel like there's something.
There's at least some artistic. Or terrible, you know, like I think like that's like there's no thought, there's thought put into that too, but like I don't find that artistic. I find that just disgusting. But you know, but it's like I'm trying to think of an example. So like recently, like our graphics person, our graphics, like one of our editors, awesome dude, Jeremiah. He found OPC just because he came to like one of our events and found us like, hey, can I contribute or whatever? And he's been helping us out and do some cool stuff. And it's hilarious because he told me afterwards, he goes, man, what I learned from this is like, just do. When you have an idea, just do it. And what I mean by that is that he came to me the other day, or he talked to Blair and I a few times about it. I can tell he was hesitant about it. I'm like, dude, I don't know, you know, do it if you want, if you're doing it. He's like, what do you think if like we change the Instagram handle picture to a condom that says other people's children on it? And I was like,
you have an idea.
Cool.
Just do
You know?
it.
But like my knee jerk was like, that's kind of funny because Blair and I don't have kids and we started other people's children and we don't really have plans to have kids as of now. So like, and we work with other people's children. So I guess like my artistic brain didn't go to any place creepy. He was worried that it would be a creepy thing. And I'm like, honestly, that's where people's brains go, and like they're like that's kind of on them. But like I know that's not what you're doing.
I just want to make one point of correction real quick. Again, no, when you say Blair and I don't want to have children, we are not in couple.
I was like, I don't think that's his girlfriend.
Yeah.
That's a cute couple.
That's
I mean-
hilarious. That's hilarious. So well, why he wanted to do it is for our playlist. Because he's like, let's wheat paste. It's like these giant condoms.
Are you guys making a playlist?
Yeah.
That's
yeah,
dope.
yeah. So that's
Whoa.
I had to get to that with you guys because I need music.
That's
like
so
what you
cool.
want on it or whatever. So we're gonna do playlists because of the music stuff. We're gonna do a playlist and we're gonna hopefully get to the point where we already have stickers ordered with these condoms on now. We're probably gonna do wheat pastings or chalk so we don't get anybody in trouble because it comes off maybe like chalk stencils of these condoms. Saying other people's children because it's going to stop people to be like, what is that? And then they go to it, it's going to be music playlist, right? Cool.
That's
So
Okay.
anyway, he was tripping. I was like, I don't know, I'm not tripping, but like I could tell he was hesitant. And then that weekend he sent me a message. He's like, oh man, and I looked at it, and it was Saint Laurent did a condom that they're selling for €2 each, and it's like a graphic very similar to what he was showing me that he wanted ours to be. And I was just like, whatever, man. Like, it's a different thing, right? But he's worried about it looking like he's biting it. You know what I mean? But I'm like, dude, who cares? Because, like, it says Saint Laurent. It doesn't say other people's children, which is a total different invoking, like, a feeling. Because you're like, wait a minute.
When you see Saint Laurent condom, you're like, okay, high fashion.
Yeah, exactly. Where, like, you know? So, anyway, I mean, since the very beginning of having to name other people's children, most people don't take it in a weird way, you know? And like, if they did, I'd be like, I tell them the story that like, well, it started because I always said that if I had a management company, I would call it other people's children, you know?
OPC?
Yeah, so that's how it started. But we're gonna do a playlist, which is really fun. I never even got to the point of the beginning of the conversation where we were talking about earlier 2 days ago. Blair and I had a meeting with a friend of ours who's going to find us a space to do showcases.
Oh yes.
So we're going to do like, you know, we want to do it during the day, but make it like a Depop sort of thing where like if you have like vintage you want to sell or your own brand you want to sell or your merch you want to sell. So like, so ideally it'll be mostly band merch, but then maybe have a few people there selling their swag that they make, you know, because like the other day we interviewed this kid Max who's really funny, and he does his brand is called Orgasm, and when you meet him he's like, "Man, Max Orgasm," but he which is hilarious. But, you know, like all his things are rips, you know, like he's like, this is the Louis Vuitton rip, and the Louis Vuitton it says orgasm. Or like he has like an Angels hat that just says it's the Angels and it just says dust next to it, you know, which is hilarious.
That's so clever.
So anyway, like I wanted to open it up. Like he came in and he was with him and this guy Emerson. He's making a bunch of like denim jackets, stuff out of like recycled denim or whatever. But like have like our own like little like imagine like the Rose Bowl, but with our artists performing like Rose Bowl, like their flea market, you know.
Yeah.
You know, so we're gonna try to find a place like that to do. I really could it be every Sunday? That would be so sick. And I feel like as this is momentum's picking up, even when it's not just our artists, but like I kind of want it to be like, you know, our artists on rotation plus like a couple of their friends get brought in or whatever, and something turnkey to where we don't have to worry about the bar or this or that and the other. I mean, here's the thing: is that like how old are you now though?
20.
20, yeah. So like, you know, like we might have to do it at a 21 place because like that's the only thing that's good. But like I'm sure like as a musician, and we would just bring you in, we figure it out. But like as long as you're not getting hammered at the bar, doesn't matter.
Michael's like,
You know, but like it's hard. The fact is that you just bring more people around. I don't drink, so I don't care. But like people want to come and watch music and have a beer or something, so it'll be easier that way. And pretty much all of our kids are over 21, you know, or about to be. So that's cool. Yeah. So anyway, that's what's next with that, which is cool, right? You know, so that's gonna be fun. But the playlist is gonna be so fun.
That's dope. That's dope. And you have so many artists that already have like a really cool curated fan base, just especially in LA. It'll be really dope with all that together.
Cool.
He's got stuff coming out too soon, and
I dig it.
Cool.
I mean, the thing that I think that is going to be like the powerful thing, and like it's the power of the collective, and that exactly what you're saying is that, you know, everyone is from different communities. So like my favorite part about any of the EOPC events that we did before is that you have all kinds of people there. It's like a group art show vibe where like anytime you have a group art show, you're going to have their communities all in one place, and you look around and everybody looks a little different, and you're like, this is what America to me should feel like, you know? And it's all ages, all different kinds of people. People walking by and be like, what's that? And coming in. You know, but I think that back to the content part, like you and your question about like quality over quantity. Are intentional, then like I don't see why do it unless you just want personal attention in like a weird way, which I don't know what that, or maybe you're just I don't know.
I have a thought and also a compliment basically paid to this because yesterday I was thinking a lot, like just like on my birthday about like the past year and I don't know what I get to do, and there's like a phrase at my church that says like I can't believe and I feel like that's kind of like something that you are creating right now, and like it's really beautiful that like, you know, artists will have a platform where any sort of creative thought or idea or story they want to share, or I don't know, like belief they have that they feel is important enough to like create something about, or like it's just so cool that there will be like a outlet for that, and it makes me feel like I can't believe I get to do this. Like I can't believe
that's
like
that
that
makes me feel
is.
good. Yeah, thank you. I mean, like that's the point. That's actually the entire point.
Yeah.
Like, cause I can't believe I get to do this. Like, like this is Friday. I'm at work. Right now. You know, I'm sure there's more stuff for me to do down here that's not very cool. I'm like, I can't believe I get to do this. But like,
I can't believe I have to do this.
But I think that it's really important because really at the end of the day, that's what life's about. I mean, you know, you hear the sayings like it's like, you know, we work to live, we don't live to work or whatever. And I'm like, well, maybe you can live to work if it makes you feel happy, you know. I mean, but there's nothing wrong with it. Considering like at the end of the day, like I'm kind of like, ugh, like don't we work mostly more than we don't work?
But that's what's so cool about what my family's been blessed with, like Sage and I.
Yeah.
Sage does everything that she wants to do.
Yeah.
Like she's a dancer, she's a modeler, but she's primarily a dancer
Modeler.
right now. Yodeler, modeler.
I like that.
But she gets to dance for a living and perform for a living, and I get to make music for her, and I get to make music for people I love, my friends and myself.
And you're gonna make music for your whole life for a living, and I guess that, like, if you work on, like, I mean, like, my dad's a musician, and he has a job too, now, and he's like 60. But like he really makes more money as a musician. It's just that like if you want more things, you gotta make more money, you know.
Yeah.
And he needs insurance and stuff like that. But like he's in a couple bands and like, you know, keeps him young and like he makes him happy and like, you know, I think that's the thing that for everyone, like it just sucks that like, you know, it's this whole thing. My stepdad used to always like tell me, because I always ask him like, you know, he's in the union and he was like a general foreman in the decorators union and he liked what he did, you know, and like he did it for a long time and like he retired. Now he's like playing golf every day and he's like in his late 50s.
Yeah.
Like he did well for himself this way. But he was when in high school he always would get. He was always kind of punk rock in that like he didn't do what other people wanted to do. He probably could have been like a star baseball player, but they wanted him to cut his hair and he was like no. So which is kind of hilarious, you know. But he said that like they used to show films back then. Which they still do this sort of thing, like subliminal things of people, like where it's like, do you want to be like Joe? Joe like is a plumber. Joe whatever. Or do you want to be like Jim like, you know, he does business, you know, and like whatever, and like it makes you feel bad if you're like you have a craft, right? So like as a musician or a dancer, you have a craft, and like the thing is that like I hear it all the time, like, and I like, it's even with what I do, you know, people always think that like, when are you gonna get serious with your life? And like, as if like what you do isn't real. Like, it's like, you
Canyon
know.
yesterday explained to me that like at her art school that she's going to, that like they devote an entire year to studying color. Like, Michael went to school and basically was doing like math with music that I don't even understand. And like what I've learned about the body and how difficult it is to actually like be at the level of a ballet dancer like I want to be at.
Yeah.
Like
it's a craft.
Like
for a reason.
it's a craft for a reason because it's not easy to do.
It has
like
to,
it is so intricate, and like to create art is so intricate and
intimate.
And
it's direct expression of yourself, you know, like that.
And you know, it's just another way of learning. Like some people focus like their learning on, you know, business, and that's also, you know, something to study. But like we study what we do too, and there's I think
you need a balance. You need different components of things.
Yeah, it's not just like a fluke of nature.
Your
it's
business
like
doesn't exist without an artistic side,
and it doesn't exist without work too.
No,
like I think
exactly.
Work and art can be a lifestyle.
And an artistic platform doesn't exist without business.
Look at the city of
You know,
Los
like-
Angeles. Like, it wouldn't exist without
Like,
art.
we are.
Like, I one of the reasons why we do this, and we're gonna get there. Like we always have like a sort of a charitable component to most of the things we do, whether we do a collab or selling things, whatever. Yeah, we always usually do something like that.
I love that.
And our whole thing is like, I mean, Lisa can always preaching this, and Blair's with it too. Like we use sports and art as like a tool for liberation, and that like, you know, all of it builds confidence, but also like I just know as a kid growing up, like I'm no dummy, but I wasn't in a situation where I was going to school where like by like 11 or 12, like I knew I wasn't going to be a doctor or a lawyer, you know, or the president, you know. But actually, I was about to say, man.
I mean, go for it, Jesse.
Well, actually, I probably would. Yeah, never mind. I still have a shot. You know? Like skeleton, I'm like they're like skeletons in your closet. I'm like open all the closets. It makes me more relatable. You know,
Hey Jesse, could you talk to them a little bit more about what they do in their art? Because it's like this is the first time we're really getting like, hey, this is what we do and how fortunate we are and blessed and all that kind of stuff. I'd love to hear more about it, just so people know.
Yeah. Okay, there are.
Yeah.
Cool. well, just, and this applies to you guys. So, like the last thing, and then we'll jump into that. But like, when I look up on the hills and that sort of thing, like I think that I look at kids that aren't going to be are far enough along the line. They're not going to be a lawyer or a doctor or whatever. But you know what? Like they can get out of like whatever bad situation they are by being an editor, by being a music producer, by being a music manager, by being a dancer, right? So like, and then they end up either staying in their community and making it a place that it has a little bit more like thriving, or they can move up in the hills and be secluded and do whatever weird things that are happening up there.
All weird things.
But yes, let's since we'll go counterclockwise here. Say, talk about yourself a little bit. What's up?
Well, I mean, right now life is pretty crazy.
Yeah, what's up with the Nutcracker? Because I was going to say I have to make it this year. I've missed the last 2 years.
I mean, Nutcracker thankfully comes around every single year. It's like probably the most consistent thing in ballet that you will ever find is you will always find a Nutcracker.
Yeah.
Nutcracker is super fun. It's like a really good opportunity, I think, because we do 40 shows of Nutcracker to like improve parts of your technique, and you get that consistency of being on stage all the time. And I don't know, you just grow so much as an artist by making it through and learning how to survive and like keep your body healthy. Yeah. But right now I'm on this whole health kick. Like I am like so into, I had an injury, last year.
With the back,
because being a professional dancer is hard. But but after I basically broke my back, like I realized I needed just this whole lifestyle switch around like how I was treating my body and like how to maintain longevity in this career is really hard. Yeah. So I worked with this physical therapist. There goes my cupcake. As I'm talking about health, it's cool. You deserve it. You deserve it. Cupcake just falls over. You deserve it. But basically, I'm learning that there is just so much potential inside of humans. You know how you were talking to me about that Apple Watch sort of deal?
Oh yeah.
Like making like I don't know, art and dance and certain things like accessible to people where they get I'm super passionate about that.
If they take care of themselves, other things are gonna get better, right?
Yes, because it's not even just a ballet thing. Like I wish ballet was as accessible as like yoga per se, because there's so many health benefits to just doing it correctly, and it comes down to even like breathing correctly and just like certain like I don't know. Every single day I've been just so consistent with that, and I've seen such a transformation like in my overall health and well-being, and it's like a daily meditation and devotion component to what I've been doing, so it's been really awesome. But apart from that and Nutcracker and the shows that we just finished, I have my piece that's premiering. Yeah. That Michael did the music for. He wrote, okay, this blows my mind. Like, he composed a string quartet. Like, the dude doesn't play cello or viola or violin, but somehow knows how to, like, write and compose this amazing, sounds almost medieval. And I just got crazy ideas when I listened to it this summer. I was like, I want to go for something like Game of Thrones, very relevant, very, like, the entire night is called Choreograph Her. So it's like 6 women choreographers, and it's a night celebrating like a very small majority of the choreographer population and dance. And I don't know.
Because in dance, females are the minority, right? When it comes to choreography.
When it comes to choreography, we've often been the muses, for everything artistic. It's always been like, inspired by the woman, but it's never been created by the women. So now that we are kind of gaining this like momentum and voice, I feel like it's a really intelligent thing that my director's doing in promoting that population. And I'm super lucky that this is like the 3rd piece that I've been able to do. So I've kind of grown this craft of mine over the past year, and I'm stoked about this piece. Like, so excited. I think it's probably the best one we've done so far. Yeah. I would go that far to say. But it's going to be 3 nights and lots of the donors and sponsors are going the first night, and Michael's going to be there. There's like a little talk afterwards. I get to explain.
What's the dates? It's in Boston. What's the dates?
It's October 23rd, 24th, and 25th.
Okay.
But yeah, I'm excited about that, and Sage as a dancer is like happy right now. Did you see? I had a Point.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Magazine
thing.
I wasn't expecting that at all. Like, I had no idea that was coming out.
That's great.
They told me it was a special on my choreography, and then it came out, and they I've never been recognized for my dancing per se like that before. Like, I used to do competitions, and you know, you would gain recognition like there, but I think there was a period of my life when I was trying to model full time, when I was with Ford, that I kind of got looked at by the ballet community as like, oh, she's just doing other things. Like, she's very spread out and sporadic, and like she's not taken super seriously.
She's not a specialist
as a ballet dancer. Yeah, like she could never commit. She could never just devote to one thing. But I always wanted to push past that because I didn't think that was a factor for me. Cool that it was something that I pushed past, and I got that little article, and I don't know.
Not a little big article.
A little big. Yeah.
What is that?
It's a Point magazine, Star of the Court of Ballet. They nominate 10 people for every season of their magazine, and it's basically up and coming dancers.
It's like being Sports Illustrated as a running back or whatever.
Yeah.
I was really shocked, and I don't get a chance to talk about what I want to do in the ballet community a lot, and it goes way beyond just being a dancer. And I don't know, I want to be a role model. There's too many bad role models in this world. Little kids need something beautiful to look up to instead of looking up and seeing a bunch of dark people that are really lost. I love what I do. I look at young dancers and I think I want them to keep that pure heart and love what they do for the rest of their life and learn how to grow in that. So that's my life story at the moment.
That's good.
I'm gonna pass the talking stick, I think.
One other thing, so I remember Jesse had pushed quite a bit. He was talking about the Beatles show.
Oh yeah,
right.
Mm-hmm.
Can you tell us about that?
Boston Calling was probably just the best weekend of our lives.
Yeah.
I had to dance throughout Boston Calling. I had shows that weekend. So basically we premiered a 10-minute piece. Michael did. Do you want to talk about the music?
Yeah, so it was
because Miko asked specifically for.
Well, it was 3 days of music that was 7 months in the making, which is I think probably the coolest part about what we do. We're now on our third composition in ballet, and it's we set out to do these so far in advance that it's you almost you never in any moment can see the end product, but it comes into your hands in such an elegant way.
It's so true.
And it looks, and it's just an amazing. It's honestly, especially doing it with him, it's one of just
combining his talents with music. I mean, this was a very special collaboration just because, first of all, it's a music festival.
50th anniversary of the White Album, right?
50th anniversary of the Beatles' White Album. I mean, to remake Beatles songs is really hard because that's the freaking best. I mean, how do you redo a classic?
Yeah.
But Michael had a really modern approach to it, and I wanted the dancing to reach the audience, so I tried to make it really modern. I tried to make the choreography interesting, lots of shapes that they could see and absorb, and I don't know, it was just an amazing collaboration, and to be on the same stage as 21 Pilots and Tame Impala and Travis Scott. Travis Scott performed on the stage that we performed on.
Yeah.
And it's kind of that is that's
and
really
see
crazy.
The mediums connect like ballet and any sort of composition that's a bit classical with I think that young people, I don't know, I was exposed to it because of art school and music theory and other things that I would take as electives. It wasn't really my main thing, but it's so important to know like what the foundation of all of this comes from, right?
Yeah.
I've thought a lot about that, like how music and dance are like the purest art forms, like just originally, like from the beginning of time.
Yeah.
You see, art in music and dance, and like over time those change so much, and like what is culturally like appropriate, and you have to change that with the time, but you also want to keep the beauty and the purity of the craft itself. Like ballet, I think, is the purest of dancing, because it's just like it's, you have to tame your body so much, and then when you combine that with like elements of classical music and then adding other modern things on top of that, like it's just a match made in heaven. Art is meant to complement each other. Like all of the arts are connected, because when put together it's like it's spectacular.
Well, specifically White too, like that entire project, like she came to me probably a year and a half ago now, and
it was when I was injured, so it was like January.
And I think I was still living in Boston at that time. I think when you first said it, but
maybe.
Yeah, I think I was.
I called you and I was like, hey, how would you want to perform at Boston Calling Music Festival?
Yeah.
I was like, go look at the lineup right now and tell me.
But yeah, I mean, it was taking the Beatles stuff and saying, how can we put that into the minds of 15 to 20-year-olds and make them
some of
relatable.
them who have never listened to the
never
Beatles,
listened
like,
to it, and they listen
know.
to Travis Scott and 21 Pilots and Anderson .Paak, and they like this stuff, and which is all the stuff that I like, right? And so, but I mean, in the same sense, I grew up listening to Rocky Raccoon and listening to the White Album
especially.
and listening to specifically the White Album, and so it was such an honor for me to be able to go back into that music and pay tribute to it, because of how much it's meant to me in my life, and how much it's been a part of me.
It's a part of her childhood.
Really, I can just, one of the earliest memories I have of going to music lessons at like 9 and 8 is sitting in the car, driving to drums, trying to listen and learn Hey Jude, because I had to learn it this week for my drum teacher, and I didn't learn it. And so like just. That's not on the White Album, but it's the Beatles. And then like taking road trips and listening to Rocky Raccoon and listening to like all these tunes, it was really an honor to do it. And so, I mean, it was stressful for sure.
It was stressful, but it was I think the most fun. It was stressful because we had no help. We were like pretty much, we were like on our own. And my director even warned me about this when I was like, Michael and I are doing our third project, and he's like, it's hard when you have to do everything on your own. Like when you have to literally consider everything about a production. Like.
And that's the thing we were talking about with the independent artist thing. It's like
it looks easy because you make it look easy.
But lighting,
really
costumes,
nothing's easy.
The mix, the sound of the music.
Well, because I'm playing every single instrument on that thing, minus a couple of stuff where I had a horn player come in, singing, playing guitar, playing bass, engineering it, mixing it, doing a final mix to send it to master, making sure everything, literally everything, from plugging it into some preamps to sending it into my DAW to using it and composing all the music and listening. Like I think I spent months just listening to the music and dissecting all the harmony and just saying, how can I take this and make it modern? And like, it's an honor, and we love to do it, and so it doesn't feel like work. But it's like.
But then there are times.
But then there are times where it's
there are
a
times,
lot.
and like unforeseen factors with that. Like the choreography, I only had probably like 8 rehearsals with my dancers total. Like because we were doing other shows at that time.
But you have top level dancers, so you're like, okay.
I had the principals of the company, which like really helped me out, because it was like they can just take something and like it looks like a performance the day you give it to them. But also like a challenge with working with principals is, hey, I am like way beneath them. Like I'm in the corps de ballet. Like I know I'm less experienced. I know that they have worked with like the greatest choreographers ever, so I'm trying to bring something to them and trying to make it fresh and new for people that have been around for a long time, and trying to gain the respect of people that I like look up to and respect a lot. So there was a lot of like dynamics with that, but I think at the end of the project they ended up like really respecting, I think, the fact that I put so much much into making this cool, and then they got there and they saw the size of the festival.
They were worried at first.
Yeah, I mean, well, a music festival stage is a fun place to put ballet because you have to like lay down the floor.
Yeah.
And there were like floorboards that were like creaky, and they were like, we can't go on point, and I'm like, the whole dance is on point. Like you can't not go on point. Like you have to.
Oh yeah, the anxiety of
There's so many things. Like, we got to the stage and the floorboards were like a teeter-totter, and they were like, we can't dance on this. I'm like, shoot, like I have to get like production team to like tape down the floors, and then like there's just so much.
Like setting up your sound.
Were they stoked on it?
You were linking it up. And
All me. No one.
Sorry, yeah, go ahead.
Oh no, I was just saying like Michael set up all the sound by himself, and like those stages are beasts. They're not.
There's a great sound crew.
And that was the thing too, is like I literally, since the time I can remember, I've been performing on stages and performing at concerts and performing, you know, at every single situation. So I've been really blessed in the sense that I have not only the knowledge of what I want, but I also have the terms and the terminology to communicate it to them. Mm-hmm. So I can be like, hey, listen.
I understand none of it.
Yeah, that's really important. But extremely important. Like
no, seriously, and especially when it's like, again, it's just us two. I don't have a sound team. I don't have a guitar rig team. I don't have someone who goes and sets up my amp and sets up all my pedal boards and makes sure everything is there and make sure that I have monitors so I can hear all the things. And you know, it's like I'm doing it all, but I'm so lucky to be able to do it all, because then in 10 years when I'm touring the world and I have all these other people that are working for me and are doing these things, I'll be able to put myself in their shoes and be like, yeah, I know what you're going through, or yeah, I understand that. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, you're not gonna just be like, I want this, and they're gonna be like, that's not physically possible.
Literally.
And you're like, but I want it now.
Make it happen.
We do.
Exactly.
Did you have a question before that? Or did you forget?
No, were the dancers in the end happy?
Oh, they were very happy.
Yeah.
They were stoked, and I think, you know, I could tell that it was going to be really great when we went and visited the arena the first time, because everyone was just like awestruck. Yeah, they couldn't believe, like, okay, this is what, okay. They felt blessed and grateful to be part of it. I always, this has been like a thing with me, is like whenever I choreograph, I like to handwrite notes to each dancer and like tell them, like, you know, this is why I chose you for this part, and like, you know, because my thing being a choreographer is like I see dancers now in a different way. Like I myself as a dancer, but like I watch other people dance and I think like, wow, they're so beautiful. Like I want to see what potential I can bring out of them. Yeah. And even someone who is like so high up, like, I mean, I still see like potentials for amazing things, and I want to tell them like that I think they're amazing, and it's a cool relationship to be able to have. Yeah, that's amazing. And how old did you turn yesterday?
22.
That's what I thought. 22 and 20. So we're talking about 22 and 20-year-olds. I mean, like, very accomplished. I don't know. You should be very, very proud of yourself for that. That's insane.
Thanks, Jesse.
Yeah, I mean, completely insane. I would have been like, how do you find Boston Calling? I was a slow starter.
That's okay.
Okay, cool. You said you're in art school?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. It's actually interesting, I think, hearing their sides, because I'm 18, so I'm a freshman this year at Cal Poly, and I'm studying in their graphic arts and design program.
Okay, cool.
So it's interesting hearing, like, they've been developing these skills for so long, and now they're finally in a place where, like, you can use them and actually create these really incredible things that are affecting people and changing people's lives. And it's cool to be like kind of in the start of that process.
Yeah.
Just starting to learn my craft and like refine all of these tools and elements and learning how things work with each other and like how you can evolve from working in projects like this, like they are.
Canyon's a bomb artist. Watch out for her because
she did the graphic art that's going on the next EP.
She did like the album.
It's a family affair.
Yeah, seriously,
that's great.
It was funny because I have like.
So cool.
Within Future Self and like the cinematographers and stuff we have like 2 or 3 graphic artists that generally do all the stuff that we release, and we were still kind of looking. They all gave us sketches of what they thought would be cool for the EP, and I was like, yeah, that's cool. And I was like, I wonder if I just sent Canyon.
Yeah, Canyon.
Canyon some stuff. I know, like she's insane, and sure enough, you know, like a month later, it was like just exactly what we needed.
Wow.
So. Like the day I was moving into school. It's like, you just that album cover for me, and I was like, yeah, I'll get around to it.
You're like, I'm trying to memorize my schedule.
Did I bring no pants? Yeah,
That's funny. Wow.
It's exciting, and I love what you are doing, and then hearing like these stories, and then hearing what you're doing.
Yeah,
it's just so cool to see people that are supporting these platforms.
This is exactly like what people like. This interview is exactly what I'm doing. I just want to hear about what you're doing, and want other people to hear about it. You know.
Wait, what was the motto we came up with? Helping people do what you love.
Oh yeah.
Doing what I love, helping people do what they love.
I love helping people do
what they love.
Something like that.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
That's beautiful.
I am. I have to write that down so I
You
don't
gotta
forget
coin that. You gotta put that on a T-shirt or
because
something.
they're like, what like they're like it's time to like really, you know, what's your one liner? How do you and then I'm like, Sage, kind of like Blair. What was that 90s
back
movie?
To you.
What was that 90s movie? Well, I mean, this is just the beginnings of it. We literally just, you know, last night I watched a video that Blair's like, okay, watch me. I'm on the live stream now. Watch me at I don't know. They said like 24 minutes and 45 seconds. And I'm like, okay. So I get there and I'm like, I see him like it's just a live stream of him like decoding or messing with like our stuff with Vimeo, and all of a sudden he's like, he starts going crazy, and then all of a sudden I see the screen like fade from like all of a sudden it looks like literally like a studio setup where like we're fading from one live stream to another, like an old video, and like we're just figuring out. I mean, we're figuring things out at a slower pace.
That's
because
so cool.
you know I'd bet, you know, $1,000 that if we put you three in front of everything that we're trying to figure out, you would probably be quicker, just because like you came up in a different way, you know. I mean, it's just a different generation. You guys like electronically speaking, yeah. You know, but we're getting there, and
You said something about green screen.
oh, we got to. Oh, yeah, I got to show you the green screen. Yeah, we'll check this out when we wrap here, because we're gonna need you back. So like meaning like I want the next project, like I want to do something where we're talking about it when you release. You know, we'll release it. We can have your videos or anything like that going on in the background, like while we're sitting there hanging out. So like I would love to. I mean, really, I just want you all to keep contributing, and at the same time, you know, I mean, I honestly, I really feel that if we just keep doing this and releasing this, the brands and all of the people will come our way, and then you'll get to a point where like the artists that I'm working with can pick and choose what they want to work on, and then I'll help them facilitate that and manage that relationship with whatever that brand is, or whatever that festival is, or whatever that opportunity is, whatever that is, you know, to the best in the way that's best suited for them, and for them to feel like they're not taken advantage of, because like all the stuff that you're doing is so valuable, and like, you know, but you're gonna be met with so many people that tell you that it's not because of your age, right, or because you know.
The worst thing that I hate is like someone calling you green.
Yeah.
Because it's like you're only green until you're not green.
Yeah.
And
I mean, it's also people haven't like when I joked about like trying to find Boston Ballet at 21, it's because everything moves slower. Like as time goes by and as technology is causing us to move a lot faster. It wasn't that like I didn't have the same amount of brain cells or my IQ was lower than like anyone's now. It's just that, you know, you had to go and find a library, or like I had to use a Dewey Decibel System to find a book to talk about something that you can go put it up, right? So like, it's just the truth, you know. Like growing up in Missouri, I didn't have I didn't find my fashion sense until I got to New York, because we didn't have Instagram. I didn't see what kids in New York were doing. I didn't know what was happening. I saw it was on TV. But the truth is that like, you guys are just more advanced because of technology. And now, emotionally, and all the other things that take time for you to develop emotionally, spiritually, all of the different like facets of like being a human, like that's like you can't speed that up, not authentically.
And that's the common denominator too. It's like so many people, that are older and have this stigma. They're like, oh, the youth is so corrupted, or oh, they don't have this perspective, or oh, they're so sucked in this. It's like, well, no, they still have to go through the same, BS that you did.
Yeah.
It's like.
If anything, with more of a spotlight on it.
Seriously.
You can't get away with anything.
Seriously.
Like, at least we got to make mistakes
in private.
Just in private.
Wow.
Like our smaller friend group.
Now everyone knows.
No.
You do one
And
thing.
it's permanent.
Yeah, it's permanent.
It's
Things you said 10 years ago.
Yeah. No, I mean, it's true, and like, like the good part is that people have to take accountability for their actions. The bad part is that people. There's no forgiveness.
Yeah.
Like that's the part that I don't understand. I mean, like you mentioned,
It's
I
so
don't
true.
really, like the concept of forgiveness shouldn't be one that like has to be taught, because everyone makes mistakes. There's no one that doesn't, right? So like the reality is like, and like everyone wants to be forgiven for some stuff they've done.
And people judge them on that too.
You know.
Yeah.
It's
So, like-
interesting that it goes the other way.
Yeah, it's like because like at the end of the day, like I see it happen a lot of times, and I'm like, what does that mean? There's certain acts that are unforgivable, right?
Yep.
But at the end of the day, it doesn't mean they can't go on with their lives. Like, who are we to like keep people from continuing in their lives?
The whole theme of my piece that I'm choreographing is about justice and judgment.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
And I mean, judgment's a scary word, right?
Yeah.
Like everyone associates it with like a negative connotation.
Yeah.
Don't judge others, and that's honestly how I live my life. Is like I can't judge anyone, because I know that in everyone's different, unique way, like we all strive, we all go through things, and you can't look at one moment in someone's life and see the entirety of their story.
Yeah.
But this piece, like, I've been in situations in my life, like I've been in a courthouse.
Yeah.
I've been sitting there wondering, like, if I'm going to be looked at and judged fairly.
Yeah.
And I've wondered who's on my side, and I've wondered, like,
It gets really scary when you realize that your peers are the ones that are judging you. Like a jury of 12 does not make me feel better. Knowing people.
No.
You know what I mean?
And it's people. That's the thing, is at the end of the day, it's people judging people.
Mhm.
Like the judge is no less a human than the person sitting in the chair. And someone described a courtroom to me, a good friend of mine, as the emergency room of justice.
Yeah.
And I love that, because like you're in an emergency room, and there's like three things we all have in common. We're all anxious, we're scared, and we all want to be treated like the most important person.
Yeah.
But for everyone in the hospital, for everyone in the courthouse, that's their job.
Yeah.
They're looking at it in a different way. It's like
Oh, yeah,
on to
yeah.
the next, on to the next, on to the
Yeah,
next.
yeah. They're
But-
not there. Their job. One of the parts of their job description does not include empathy.
Yes.
Like in fact,
It's
they're
actually
the
the
opposite.
opposite.
Yeah. Which in a way, I don't know. I guess like it's better. I don't.
It's kind of necessary.
It's kind of necessary. Yeah.
to keep the flow of society, like,
Yeah,
for
yeah,
sure.
yeah.
But I think just with that whole term of forgiveness, like there's a concept called grace,
Yeah.
and we all have to give it
Yeah.
to each other, because
But that's the thing, is like someone does something 10 years ago, and obviously there's stuff that's just kind of, it's hard to forgive that.
Yeah.
But it's like you come in
holding on to something doesn't make it
Yeah.
doesn't make you feel any better.
Yeah.
Like
No, there's no way.
and they probably don't even, it's like, hey, you said the thing that was terrible 10 years ago. They're like, yeah, I know that was terrible. I wish I didn't say that.
Oh yeah, they've already most of the time, everybody that I know that's done terrible things, like including myself, not terrible but whatever. Like I punish myself for everything I've done a lot. I'm a lot harder on myself than like anyone else. I'm like that was like cool, yeah, sure. I've already thought about that and like how terrible that is for long enough. Like,
and then you want to move on.
Yeah,
and
you
you
wanna
do.
move on.
But
Yeah.
that's the thing, is that people don't want you to move
they
on.
don't allow you to. No,
They don't allow you to.
No.
there's always
They
people
have-
benefiting off
Yeah,
of
yeah.
your disability.
Yeah.
Like there's, I don't know, I've been kind of thinking about this lately, is like this thing of getting stuck. Like if we stay complacent, if we get stuck, if we choose not to move on, like that hurts you but it also is benefiting all the other people around you, because sometimes people like to see you get stuck.
Yeah.
Some people like the
Well, it
fact
makes them
that you
feel
remain
better.
in the
It
same
makes them feel
spot,
better.
that you haven't moved on past this one thing, or you haven't gotten out of this one place of hurt, or you haven't
Misery loves company.
recovered. Yeah, but
Yeah.
instead of supporting and like actually having empathy and understanding that like one person's success is everyone's success.
Mhm.
Like championing.
Championing.
Champ-
I can't say
champion-
it. Now you got me.
Championing? Wait, what the heck?
Championing.
What? Wait,
Championing.
no.
Championing.
Champion, so
Championing.
champion, and then
Championing.
champ.
Championing.
I don't know.
Champion.
That's
I think
right.
let's just
Do you know-
being a
you know-
champion of. Being a
Most
champion.
intelligent people have multiple ways of saying things. So
Yeah, that's what I tell everybody.
Yeah, since I had to say what I want to say.
Yeah.
We make our own words.
We are the champions, my friends.
But that's
Well, on that note.
Cut.
that's true. It's like failure is so important.
Yeah.
And especially in our field of what we do is like
It's important. You're
Well,
so right.
I was literally
Yeah,
I
it's
was
good.
reading a quote from Thomas Edison today, and it was like he's like one of his workers was like, don't you feel like it's been a waste of time that you spent thousands of trials trying to make the light bulb? And he was like, no, I learned what doesn't work.
Yeah.
And it's like, that is so valuable.
Yeah.
When we put our failures on a pedestal, we understand what doesn't work, and we are able to move around that and move towards what does work.
Yeah, there's nothing worse than like than not actually learning any sort of lesson from.
Yep.
I think
You know?
forgiveness and lack of forgiveness is a concept of denial, where you're actually just denying the fact that like if you can't forgive someone else, like you can't forgive yourself.
Oh no,
Like,
yeah.
I don't know.
You need something? You're cool actually if you want to go, Thomas. Do you think I heard something? I did. I was thinking, is there a rat?
It sounded
up
like
there?
an animal.
Well, yes.
An animal?
I think there's a rodent. I think there's a rodent up there. Did you hear that? I think it's Thomas's face. Yeah. Thomas is like, I can't go now. I gotta stand.
Oh, the person.
Oh, there's somebody walking on there.
It's just a
Or
person.
is it?
Or the biggest rat ever. All right. Well, I think that was nice. I think we got it.
That was great.